It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
Don't you have like 400 family members now?
Yeah. And they're almost all of them are
You guys? No.
I mean, if you hate yourself, just go ahead and say that. I'd rather end all the speculation. I'd rather end all the hearsay. Just come out and, call it what it is. Now, a lot of people say this is because of her husband. A lot of people say he's sucking the energy out of her. Hey, man, maybe this is who Serena always wanted to be. A light-skinned version of herself. Maybe she always wanted to be a blonde. Who knows, man? But that didn't look like the same Serena I grew up on. That big booty bouncing, that didn't look like that same chick. She looked like she lost a significant amount of weight too. Now that could be for the better. Serena had a couple of kids. She got the kids that she wanted, the mixed breeds. And I got to address the haters too. Let me address the haters because there's a lot of people that say, oh, Serena, she's with this white guy. This white guy sucking her energy. Let's not act like it wasn't multiple black dudes who had their shot at Serena and they chose to go another route for whatever that reason may be. Now, I know her feet is something to deal with, but this ain't necessarily about Serena's feet. Them feet, those are $200 million worth of feet. You know what I mean? So that's not even, don't go down that route. We're going to keep this strictly about the topic at hand. And she doesn't look good. Let's call it what it is. All jokes aside, somebody needs to call Serena and check on Serena. But Coach KD, the BBL girls is getting it. The BBL girls, you don't say nothing about the girls that's enhancing themselves to look better. Serena's just bleaching her skin or putting on heavy makeup, either or. She's doing that just to look good too. Why don't you go hard on those other girls? Those other girls aren't Serena. Serena has young women actually looking up to her. Young girls with her same skin complexion looking up to her, wanting to be like her, wanting to walk in her same footsteps, no pun intended. But seriously, I even see it on YouTube. It's a YouTuber who I can name specifically, but I'm not. She looks up to Serena. And there's been allegations of her bleaching her skin. So we got to call a spade a spade. Now, there's been people who've done this in the past. Coach KD, I don't see you going hard on Michael Jackson. That's the greatest of all time. That's MJ. He was bleaching his skin too. Hey, man, they said MJ had something like vitiligo or whatever that was. They say MJ had some type of skin disease or whatever. Now, do I believe that? No. I think MJ was probably bleaching as well, but that's neither here nor there. This ain't about MJ. This is about Serena. This is about Lil' Kim. This is about the people who we can visibly see. They are getting lighter. This is about, you seen the title? Serena Sosa. Sammy Sosa. I know black, I Dominican. I know black, I Dominican. What's wrong? Sammy asked that question too. What? Hey, yeah, I'm bleaching my skin. What's wrong with it? If I want to bleach my skin, let me bleach my skin. So I see both sides of the fight. I see both sides, One side is worried and they're like, damn, you should love yourself for who you are. And the other side is like, well, hey, man, let me be me. Let me do what I want to do with my skin and my body. And some people are that insecure with themselves that they have to go make these drastic changes. They can't accept what God gave them. And all we can really do is pray for those folks because we don't know what those people are going through internally. Like I said, Serena, she was so much for the youth. She meant so much for that little black girl growing up with those same braids. You know what I'm saying? They could look up to her and say, damn, she's from Compton. She got it out the mud. I want to be just like Serena Williams. And quite frankly, they still might be saying that. That little dark-skinned girl who idolized Serena, she might say, hey, you know what? My calling is to be lighter. My calling is to be brighter. Somebody accept me because I can't accept myself. It's a sad situation, man. It's a sad situation, and you don't necessarily want to down her. You know, she looked drained. She looked like she was out of it in that video. It was a bad look, and people should be more worried than jokes. You know, it shouldn't just be all jokes. Somebody should really reach out and find out what's going on. Obviously, the type of atmosphere that she's now in, the type of realm that she's now in, I don't necessarily see her just hanging around a ton of black people, or if that ever was the case to begin with. I just don't see that. You know, the type of circles that she's in may be the cause of what's contributing to her quote unquote downfall, man. Maybe she feels like she has to fake it. Maybe she feels like she has to look a certain way to fit in. And you would think, man, it's so crazy because you accumulate all of these riches and you have all of these accomplishments. Yeah, they bring up Billie Jean King and how she's supposed to be the greatest of all time. She's supposed to be the Jordan of that tennis shit. But we know deep down inside who the realest. We know who turned that game upside down on the women's side, in tennis in general. The Williams sisters, right? Mainly, and I don't want to take nothing away from Venus, but Serena really held it down. Serena really truly held it down. She's the better of the two. Not saying that Venus hasn't done her shit. Venus is content with herself. You don't see Venus in the forefront. You don't see Venus getting lighter. It's crazy, right? But all of those accomplishments, all of those accolades, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You know, she's still not happy with herself. And maybe it's the company that she's keeping. Maybe it's the people around her that's draining her energy to making her feel like, hey, you know what? I got to look this way. I got to be a certain way. Or maybe this is truly what she desires. I don't know. I have no clue. But what I need y'all to do is let me know what y'all opinion is. Is Serena selling out? Did she sell out? Does she need help? Blink twice if you need us. I mean, let us know what's cracking behind closed doors. Did she get her babies, which is really all she wanted? You know, a couple of mixed kids. Like, I need y'all to really break this down for me because I'm lost. I don't see how somebody could have everything and still feel that way about themselves, still not be happy with themselves. But the more that I think about it, it's not uncommon. We see it all the time. We see extremely rich people, you know, extremely wealthy people. That comes with a lot of problems. That comes with a lot of issues. More money, more problems. We know the saying, right? And how often do we see these elite people, quote unquote, committing these, acts of self-deletion because it's too rough. It's too hard for them. You know, life got too tough for them. And we never know what somebody's going through. We seen Robin Williams. Y'all remember Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire? He was going through hell inside, man. He had to cut himself off. So I hope Serena doesn't get to that point. I hope all the jokes doesn't send her down a downward spiral. You know what I mean? Hopefully she's able to get this together. Hopefully, if there is a problem, hey, she might feel like she's completely good. She might be good. But what it's looking like from the outside looking in is self-hate. Self-hate at its highest. Hate. It's the failed athlete. That don't mean you got to fail in life. Let's go.